Well, howdy, friends, and welcome to the Scooter Cowboy channel. I'm the Scooter Cowboy, bringing you the most potent content on mobility anywhere on the web. And today is an exciting day. It's our my first podcast, and I'm very lucky to have a very generous in spirit person on with me today. It's Sergio from Mobility Direct. Welcome, Sergio, and thank you for being here today.
It's my pleasure, Scooter Cowboy. Thanks for having me.
You are welcome. Now, I've got a tiny mobility channel, but you have a fairly substantial mobility channel. So, for the 6 people that I'm bringing to this conversation, why don't you go ahead and tell them who you are and what you do?
Sure. So I'm Sergio. I'm one of the founders of Mobility Direct. We are, I hate to call it a dealership, but essentially we are a dealer for medical equipment, specifically home medical equipment. So that's going to include mobility scooters, power wheelchairs, manual wheelchairs, lift chair recliners, and related products that just help people get around. But I think what really makes us unique is the fact that we're content creators. Really,
Yeah.
we're passionate about bringing this sort of content to the market in a way that's not boring, that doesn't have that
Yeah.
stigma of oh no, I need a mobility scooter. This means I am getting old and I'm giving up on life. We try and make these products seem fun because quite frankly, for me, I've had 3 knee surgeries that originated from an accident when I was in my 20s. I had to have my ACL replaced, and yeah, the first surgery didn't really go as planned. A year later, I had the same exact surgery. They had to replace my ACL, and then years later, I had to have my meniscus
Mm,
operated on. Long story short, my knee is messed up,
yeah.
and I can't really enjoy a trip to Disney World without a scooter. So and me, I have no real physical ailments other than just having a bum knee.
Hmm.
Um, and I love having my mobility scooter. I think they're awesome. Even if my knee's not hurting, I enjoy using it to just get some fresh air. I love my
Hmm.
afikim, just like you. You have an afikim scooter.
Hmm.
I've got the double seater at home. I
Me
use it
too.
every day with my wife, my baby, and even the dog. For anybody that sees my YouTube channel, they know what I'm talking about because I'm always posting shorts videos of me just going to check the mail, going up to the end of the road, and just
And that's
having
that's
a
for
good
real
time.
with you, right? That's not like, oh, I got to make some content today, so I want to fire up the
Now,
African.
I film maybe 1% of the actual time I spend on my scooter personally. So no,
Yeah.
I go out. I live on a little farm, so I go out and I get the eggs every day from the chicken coop with my daughter, and my wife works during the day. So usually it's just me and my daughter. We go out there. It's like a routine. She
Yeah.
loves it.
Yeah.
She's not even 2 years old yet, and one of the few words that she knows is scooter. We go on a ride together. She looks forward to it. So that's kind of my
Yeah.
background or my story, if you will, and how I got into the scooter industry. Was a result of just having some background in marketing. I used
Hmm.
to do marketing as an agency owner, offering online marketing services to business owners. But then my best friend Andrew, who's the other co-founder of the business, he was a technician, and he was tired of working for somebody else. Wanted to start his own business, and we started Mobility Direct together about 15 years ago now.
Wow. So it's been
Yeah.
a good number of years, and that's what I like about your channel is you've got an enthusiasm. Where a lot of times I see mobility content where it's just, here's the specifications. This moves this way, this moves that way. Call us at this number. But then there's another layer, and I think you guys take it to the next level with that next layer of, showing the devices in use. And one of the things I like about you is you take them everywhere. I just watched one yesterday with Andrew driving I mean, it was torrential rain. He was driving an S4 with the full canopy, and
Hmm.
he just drove right out into it and ran over to the store and got some water and drove
Yeah.
back. And I think that's what's missing a lot of times. As a user, a scooter user, and sounds like you're a user as well as a retailer.
Hmm.
I want to see how like they live and breathe and feel. Not just how they look on the showroom floor, which is important. I just went into the local Pride dealer a couple days ago, and I got excited looking at those scooters sitting there. They look good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree 100%. It's giving, it's answering questions that people have that most dealers that are on YouTube or Facebook, what have you, are not answering these questions. Like you said, can I take it out in a rainstorm? And uh, we are, uh, let's just say, a little bit radical with the way we test and torture our products just to see what they can handle. Like, I'll go out when there's a hurricane approaching. We're in South Florida, and day before the storm hits, I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm gonna take it out in the wind and the rain and see if it holds up without a canopy, just to see how rain resistant this product really is. Because
yeah,
people say it all the time. Hey, what happens if I got caught in an unexpected rainstorm? Well, let's find out,
yeah,
and we're gonna
yeah.
find out together. That's the way we do it.
Well, and I think that's the thing. As a user, that what I've come to find is that you have to expect the unexpected when you're out driving around. You can't just, hey, it drives good in the parking lot. Well, are you going to just drive in parking lots? If you are, then you're there. But if you're going to drive other places, and some people don't ever drive on uneven surfaces. They drive in their house or they drive in a store, and that's good. So they can use a smaller scooter. But anyway, one of the things I want to talk to you today about is Medtrade. You just got back.
Mhm.
I mean, tell us
Yeah.
what you saw. What's on the horizon for us
Oh
users?
man. So there's a lot. So I think when it comes to mobility scooters, which that is pretty much our main audience here and demographic, they're interested in the scooters. Um, it seems like the manufacturers have been listening to not only the dealers but the end users, and something that a lot of the end users want is heavy duty, high weight capacity, and lightweight, which is, from an engineering
Hmm.
perspective, pretty much impossible, right? But they're getting closer and closer to making the impossible possible.
What about
So
speed, Sergio? How does that play into that metric?
the speed thing, yes, is it's also something that people are always asking for. But I think for the major manufacturers like the Prides, the Goldens, the
Hmm.
Afikims, they have a lot of responsibility when it comes to liability, exposing themselves to customers getting hurt. Most of these customers, you and I are pretty able-bodied, right? But
Hmm.
a lot of
Hmm.
our customers that have issues with balance, coordination, if they're getting into a scooter that's super dangerous, that can open up the door for a lot of lawsuits, not just for the manufacturers, but the dealers as well.
Yeah.
So I haven't really seen too many serious dealers like the top three dealer or manufacturers, I'm sorry, like the Pride, the Golden, the African manufacturers. They're not really looking at getting a faster scooter. I didn't see any,
You
hints
didn't
or indications
see,
that they're working on
yeah.
that.
So the top speed is around 9 miles an hour, kind of
I
on
mean,
these.
I would say most of them are going to be around 7 to 8 miles per hour, unless it's like a recreational grade scooter, which like an Afikim or a Wrangler, um,
Okay. The
you could get.
Baja, the
Yeah, these are
Raptor, I think was faster, right?
right,
For
and
Pride,
I call them recreational, but still they can be classified as a mobility device, right? Even a golf cart can.
right?
But at the end of the day, I think the ones that are coded for medical insurance to be, eligible to purchase with medical insurance are going to be closer to like the 5 to 8 miles per hour. And then few manufacturers are diving into the world of recreational where they have more off-road capable, faster scooters. But the fastest that I've seen is still the Wrangler and the afikim with the upgraded motor package, which gets you about 11 and a half, 12 miles per hour.
Okay. Okay. So
Hmm.
sorry. Anyway, manufacturers are taking the input from users and putting that into their new scooters. You were saying so. The
Yeah,
kinds of things you're
yeah.
seeing are. Can
The,
you give me
the
some examples?
the biggest thing is the weight of the product. People have a hard time transporting their scooters in the trunk of their car. They have to deadlift it. Um, and even if it's 30 pounds, 35 pounds, 40 pounds, that's
Yeah.
too much for most people.
Right.
To lift something that's an awkward shape, it's not like it's just a single handle like a
Yeah.
dumbbell.
Right.
It's an awkward shaped large frame that you have to pick up, bend down. Some people don't have the ability to squat down and use their legs. So, whether it's a take apart scooter or a folding scooter, they want it as light as can be. On the same, at the same time, a lot of these folks are a little bit heavier, and a 300-pound weight capacity scooter is just not going to work for them. So, from what I saw, there's Pride Mobility and Golden Technologies. They're coming out with some 400-pound weight capacity carbon fiber models that are going to be pretty lightweight. And they're trying to kind of reinvent the way you transport a scooter, and specifically when you go to put it in the trunk of a car. They've created some like fold flat scooters that you don't have to take apart, that you can tilt,
Mm-hmm.
stand it up on its kind of back where it's standing up vertically, and then you could tilt it and roll it into the trunk of your car instead of deadlifting it. So that's kind of been
Okay.
a pretty common theme. Last year and the year before that, they came out with these models that you could tilt and roll, and that was quickly those became some of our top selling scooters. Now they're coming out with heavy duty versions of those same scooters that hold 400 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the electric wheelchairs. They hold 400 pounds. They're made out of carbon fiber, so they're super lightweight, and they can hold up to 400 pounds. And they're also just working across the board on making all of their scooters and wheelchairs lighter. From what I've seen, the magic number is about
Mm-hmm.
28 pounds. They really can't get lower than 28 pounds. All the
That's a light
manufacturers are
scooter.
trying. Yeah, it is. And most of them can only support 300 pounds, some of them only
Mm-hmm.
like 265 pounds, but they can't seem to get down lower than 28 pounds. And I think, that's something that's important for people to realize. If you can't carry 25-pound dumbbell, you're not going to be able to carry a scooter. You need to get a trailer or one of those hitch mounted platform lifts.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're just going to be able to ride your scooter around your house in the home,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have somebody to help you, like load it in the trunk of your car for you. You don't really have the independence to go out and take your scooter to the grocery store, and that's a problem,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
People want to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. It's the application. How does the application really fit you? And that's one of the things I've found as I've kind of gone on my mobility scooter journey. I started out knowing nothing, and I've just learned and learned and learned, and I can't believe the things that I've learned that I didn't know. But it to me it's more of a it's a puzzle. It's not just the scooter. It's like where are you going to use it and how are you going to get it there. So if you want to use it in your home, well, you're golden. You get it delivered and you're good to go. And for a lot of people, that's where they're using them. My
Hmm.
mom, she used one in the home and she drove it on a ramp into the van and that's how they got around. But me, I'm driving outside, so I'm looking for other things. And I don't know, it's interesting to see like what things I can get in my car and what things I need a trailer or a lift or the things you're talking about is just getting it to the place where you want to use it because you're going to want to use it in a store or you're going to want to use it at a event or you want to go to the beach or wherever you want to go. It's like you're not probably not going to drive it to the beach. Maybe you can, but or to your pond, but most of us, we're going to have to haul it there. So
Yeah,
how do you do
yeah,
it? And you have to think about that weight, size, and I think a lot of people don't think about that. I know I didn't consider it like I should have.
yeah.
So
And it's one of those things where it's expensive to figure that out. If you buy a scooter that's like too heavy to transport, and now you want something to transport,
yeah,
you're gonna have to try and sell it on the secondhand market.
right,
And when, if you would have known these things ahead of time, you probably would have bought something else. Um, and that's where we try to be different. We try to really think about the consumer and educate them. Um, Funny enough, one of our more popular videos is specifically like a guide on what you should know before purchasing a mobility scooter for first time buyers. And we try our best to think of everything, but there's always something new that comes up. So we'll
yeah,
probably be
yeah,
revisiting that topic and making a new one. But we try to explain to people all these things so that they don't buy a scooter just to find out down the road that it was the wrong
yeah.
option, the wrong model.
One part of that decision is service, and I didn't think about that until later. And I think I found myself in a pinch point, and you were kind enough and generous enough to reach out to me just on a Facebook forum. I was just looking for information, and you connected me with African, and I just have a big, big thank you that I owe you and African. And I don't know who I need to send my thanks to that direction, but thank you to all of you. You know, the situation was my wife's father was driving this scooter, and he was 96 years old, and uh, you know, it was the last year of his life where he was really putting this to work, and I cannot tell you what it meant to him to get out and drive around in that Afghan. And with the two-seater, I never even thought about it, but he put his neighbors in it with him and drove around with the neighbors, drove it to church every Sunday. And then when it broke, he was heartbroken. And I didn't know really where to turn. And anyway, I didn't mean to go off the rails there, but I have a big thank you in my heart for you and African. But I did get service and I did get it fixed. But how do people consider service in their buying decision? It's not just the scooter. If you intend to drive it for more than a year, you're going to be in a place where maybe you need service.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you know, the the biggest thing is you're going to get what you pay for, and it's not always just related to the quality of the product itself, but it's the long-term support that you can get for that product, that you want to really consider. And the best advice I can give is, shop reputable brands. You're going to find cheap options on Temu, Amazon, these big shopping sites. And yeah, I can't really say anything bad about them because I've never tested these products, but I've heard through our comments that, and just looking at the ratings and reviews, that trying to get a user manual sometimes in English is difficult. And if you don't even have your own user manual, or you can't call somebody that's going to be able to provide you with tech support over the phone, then you're going to be up a creek without a paddle, right?
Hmm.
Whereas if you shop with afikim, or you shop for a Pride or a Golden, these are the
Yeah,
most established brands out there, the most established manufacturers. They have they always have parts available. They have service technician guides for the dealers to be able to follow. Um, and they just have a ton of resources for supporting the customer long term, not just for the first year. And once the warranty is expired, you're on your own, right? You,
right,
you know, you if you're a customer of ours and your warranty is expired, you could still call us, and we're going to help you. That's one thing that we stand by is our customers, and our reputation is super important to us. So, it's not just about the right brand; it's about the right dealer, and using just something simple like Google or Facebook reviews, checking out their ratings to make sure that they have an established sense of credibility for support is important, but also getting the right brand, I think, is more important, really.
So there you have it, the first mobility podcast. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you being out there. Part 2's coming up, so make sure you check that out. Until next time, I'm the Scooter Cowboy, and I'll see you down the trail. Well, shoot dang howdy. Golly gee whiz.